Hey you guys, it's your girl T. So I wanted to come on here and talk about the whole P. Diddy controversy, okay? I guess P. Diddy's ass was sitting and listening to Missing You and he got the reflecting, honey. His ass then jumped on Instagram Live and just like really got the preaching. You know, he was kind of going in and calling out a bunch of coonery and buffoonery that's going on in the culture of hip hop, and he feels like hip hop is basically, dying because of all this mess that's going on. Yesterday morning, Diddy got on Instagram Live and he said that he felt in his spirit, yes, in his heart, honey, that God told him to basically jump on live camera and preach to everybody to tell folks to stop with the damn cooning and buffooning, honey. Yes, this is coming from the damn king of coons himself, okay? He basically said he's tired of the nonsense, he's tired of the BS, and it needs to be about the music, and that all this foolishness, all this fighting, all this, cooning and buffooning is basically killing hip hop. So I want you guys to go ahead and watch P. Diddy's video. Go ahead and check this out. I'm gonna come back with the rest of my commentary.
Ain't got the time. I ain't got the time. If it ain't about going up, but about being positive, about getting some money and loving God, I ain't too much coonery, buffoonery going on. The culture's getting killed. I'm not even saying nothing about it because I'm just so burnt out. I will be saying something about it. I'm in amazement on what's going on in the world. But hey, who am I? I am somebody. But even I get tired of this, man. Woo! It's too much cooning and buffooning, y'all. Too much. And we all guilty of it. But damn. Man. I can't believe this is what hip hop has become, man. I just can't. My mind is like blown, man. So y'all need to watch some documentaries on hip hop. People don't even know what hip hop is. Netflix has this great documentary on hip hop, the history of hip hop. I know, I think Steve Stout did one. Fab Five. Just go to YouTube, man. Go to YouTube, man. Man, somebody can call me. I done seen, man. So I'm staying off my social devices. It's too much cooning and buffooning. Too much cooning and buffooning. And believe me, when I get my thoughts together, I'm gonna figure out a way to articulate myself. Cause this conversation ain't even for the whole world to hear. It's just for us. Believe me, they saying you cooning and buffooning. Oh, believe me. And they loving every minute of it. And I'm not one to cast no stone, but damn it, I know when to stop. So I just wish everybody luck and positive energy. I know this is going way over some people's heads. We're going to end it like this. Lord, please, Lord, just bless us to understand the power that we have as cultural leaders out here to send out these positive vibes and energy. And there's so much going on in the world. They letting us extra coon and buffoon. So y'all stay asleep. The reason why I don't be doing this shit, because I don't like sounding like I'm preaching, because I'm the worst of the bunch. I've been the worst of the bunch of times. At least I got experience to tell y'all to stop. But I was saying, at least I have the experience to tell y'all to stop. I'm going to calm down. I just love this hip-hop culture, man, and I'm scared of the direction it's going. And I'm not scared, I'm concerned, because we got some of the most brilliant minds in the world, but something has to change. We're going in the wrong direction. So this is a puffy rant, and this shit happens when it needs to happen, believe me, coming from the spirit. Give all glory to God, and that's it. Power your word right now. You could take a company from 0 to 1 billion. You could change somebody's life. You could, the power that you have is, you want to use that power to do the Jim Crow. Like the old Jim Crow. There's a new Jim Crow. Y'all doing the old Jim Crow. Being divided and conquered non-stop. So easy for us to love each other because we so fucking fly. Look at our skin. This shit is golden, red, black, chocolate. Our hearts is made of diamonds, and we treat ourselves like like we can't see that, man. It's like, yo, man, kings and queens. You know we magic? I know you heard the term black magic being thrown around. We magic, man. Start using your powers for the greater good of your people. Be clear, I said for the greater good of your people. Because your people's the one that's not getting, we not getting no help. It's time to use that black magic, man. That black magic is that's that deeper love, man. That love that y'all know that's in our hearts that we really have for each other. Tell the truth. So I say all this in the morning with love. Sometimes you wake up in the morning and God puts something on your heart, and sometimes these social devices, it's a good way to get it out, man. So God bless. But at the same time, let's put these motherfucking social devices down for a second, man, and just look in the mirror and talk to ourselves and take accountability. Okay, now for real, I'm done. I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna spread some joy around this world, some love and positivity. I love you. Peace. So y'all know I'm talking about the whole entire shit. I'm talking about us all as one hip-hop culture. All of us, me too.
All right, so you guys just saw what P. Diddy had to say. And P. Diddy is, he's starting to look his age now. He still looks good for his age, but he's definitely, he's getting up there and he's calmed down. And one thing I would say about his message, even though we all know P. Diddy, honey, was the king of coons, especially in the late 90s. You couldn't tell him shit during that damn era, okay? But one thing I would say is this, that I respect him for saying what other people are scared to say. And I also respect him for being man enough to admit that he played a part in this whole cooning situation and that he too was a coon, but now he's a damn reformed coon, okay? So I respect him for, taking personal responsibility for the role that he's played for everything that's going on in hip hop. But I also like the fact that he's saying something positive and that he's basically trying to get these younger rappers to realize that, they're not laughing with you, boo. When y'all sitting here on social media showing out, this whole Soulja Boy Chris Brown situation, it was cool when it was just on the blogs. It was cool when it was just like the bloggers talking about it and the YouTubers and people on social media, because social media is our world. You know what I'm saying? So like, this is what we talk about. This is what we do. But when we start seeing the shit getting put out there into the, into the national media, and it's getting put out there into the worldwide press, like I showed y'all the other day, the Spanish media was talking about this on Telemundo. And now when you watch ESPN, they're asking Floyd Mayweather about this fight. So now it's starting to be like, well, damn.
Them niggas that made it to ESPN. I wake up and look at this shit. These niggas on ESPN with the fight being promoted.
This whole situation has literally grown legs, and it's literally spawned into like this huge monster that nobody can contain anymore. So I do respect Diddy for talking about it. And I understand that Diddy may not be everybody's favorite messenger. I understand that, some people don't like Diddy at all and they feel like Diddy shouldn't say shit. But the thing is this, you may not like the messenger, but you cannot discard the message. And everything that he was saying in that Instagram live video, I felt that it was genuine. I felt like he was coming from a genuine place. And he obviously is a lot older and wiser now. And he's trying to steer a lot of young people now in a better direction. And we see that all the time now with a lot of these older hip hop heads. We see that with Snoop. Snoop was going off the other day calling folks out and saying that if you, fool with Trump, if you play at his inauguration, he's going to go in on you. He's going to call you all types of coons and everything else. Go ahead and check out Snoop Dogg's video right here.
So ain't nobody gonna perform for Donald Trump, huh? Which one of you jigaboo ass niggas gonna be the first one to do it? I'm waiting. I'm gonna roast the fuck out one of you Uncle Tom ass niggas for doing it. Which one of you niggas gonna do it first? I'll be the one that performs for himself.
All right, so you guys just saw what Snoop Dogg had to say. So like like the old saying goes, sometimes when older people speak, you got to listen to what they got to say, because sometimes they're able to share a whole different perspective because they've been through it. So I do respect Diddy for coming out and saying this, okay? And I do feel like hip hop is literally, it's literally dead. Like, put a fork in hip hop, it's done. You know what I mean? I feel like social media has killed hip hop. Reality TV has killed hip hop. Hip hop is more known now for weird dances, weird dance challenges, people beefing on social media, people robbing folks and posting on Instagram. Hip hop is known for everything now but the music, and I think that's the sad part. And I also hear a lot of folks saying, well, if Tupac was here and if Biggie was here, this would not be happening. We need Tupac to come back. Now, y'all know, honey, I'm like the biggest Tupac fan. Everybody knows that. I love me some Tupac. But again, like I always tell you, I'm a fan of people. I don't stand for nobody, honey, because don't nobody cut me a check to stand for them. Tupac is no different than a lot of these guys. A lot of y'all have this whole mythical thing about Tupac where people like literally put him in the same position as a god. And I understand a lot of y'all are young and y'all, you know, run around when Tupac was around and we got to see a lot of this shit play out live. But let me kind of refresh y'all's memory. Tupac, I can't really say Biggie for the most part because Biggie, you know, tried to kind of distance himself. Tupac did a lot of the same things now that are kind of reminiscent to like what Soulja Boy is doing and Chris Brown and a lot of these people. It's just that there wasn't social media back then. But I mean, there's a video of Tupac going off on live television on MTV with Ed Lover and basically talking about beating the Hughes brothers' ass.
You'll have a chance to come here and rebuttal.
No, they won't. They better come now. Yeah. I was a nigga to the Hughes brothers, and it ain't over. I still got more than Chuck because I read what you said about. Don't jump to the TV. Kick that ass.
You know, you have videos of Tupac spitting at the media and going in and going off. That was Tupac. So that's the thing. He's since passed, but just because he's here doesn't mean that anything would change. I personally think a lot of this stuff goes on because young men just tend to have egos. You know, especially when you're famous and you have the world at your feet and you have money and you can literally tell millions of people to go do something and millions of people will run out and do it and not think twice. That's how much power Tupac had. And unfortunately, regardless if you like it or don't like it, Soulja Boy, Chris Brown, Chief Keef, and a lot of these other new rappers, they have that same power. It's very easy to step back and say that, you know, this generation is fucked up and, you know, they're ego driven and they have issues and, you know, what's wrong with this generation. One, let me say this. It's not everybody in this generation because I have a son in this generation. He has friends and, you know, a lot of my friends have kids who are in this generation who are teenagers and they're not all out here on social media acting a fool and, you know, doing the shit that we see. It's a small percentage of this generation that's doing that. Two, this generation is no different than my damn generation. Egos will always be egos. Tupac had an ego. Biggie had somewhat of an ego. Diddy had an ego back then. Suge Knight had an ego back then. Snoop Dogg had an ego back then. So ego is always there, especially with a lot of these entertainers. So I don't think it has anything to do with this generation. It's very easy to dismiss this generation and just say that this generation is effed up. But people forget how it was in the 90s.
95. Suge Knight attends the Source Awards in New York City, Puffy's turf, and disses Combs on stage, with Puffy sitting in the audience.
So a lot of these same rappers did the same shit. They just didn't have social media, and that's the difference. Because now with social media, we can voice our opinions. We can do commentary on the situation, you know, whereas back then you just watch it on television and the only people you really could dialogue with it about was your friends or like your immediate circle. You couldn't state your opinion to the world like what I do now and what other people do now as well. So that's the main difference. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's anything with this particular generation. I just think it's just the ego in general with young men in hip hop, young men in the entertainment industry, and young men on the streets. So I definitely agree with what Diddy had to say, and I respect him for, you know, speaking on the situation and being honest, because so many times a lot of people just sit back and watch the foolishness, but they never come from a common sense point of view because they don't want to offend their counterparts. You know, so I can respect when somebody comes out who has clout in the industry and calls out the foolishness for what it is. Does that mean that the fight will not go on? Hell no. You know what I'm saying? It seems like the fight is definitely going to go on, you know, so it's going to be really interesting to see how everything plays out. But I am glad that Diddy chose to speak out. As of today, looks like P. Diddy shut down a lot of his social media accounts. It looks like he's still on Twitter, but you can't find him anymore on Instagram. I'm not sure if he's on Snapchat, but a lot of the sites are saying that he took down his social media pages because he received some backlash for his videos yesterday. But like I said, yes, did he coon at one point in time? Yes, he did. Did he act a fool in his younger years? Yes, he did. But I think that, you know, his message that he's putting out now is a lot better. You know what I'm saying? As we get older, you should, not all the time. Some people never mature. But for the most part, people who grow older tend to mature and see things through a different set of eyes. So I respect them for that. So anyways, y'all, let's go ahead and get the discussion popping, honey. Go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on this entire crazy situation. Do you guys agree with what Diddy had to say? Or do you feel like, you know what, the message is okay, but he's not the right person to deliver the message? Or are you okay with Diddy saying what he had to say? And then do you also agree with me that this is nothing new? Like, people are acting like rappers have never beefed before, or rappers have never acted a fool on television before, that all of this went down on in the 90s. And I think a lot of these hip hop heads today are just taking a page out of Tupac and Biggie and Snoop Dogg's book from back in the day. And they're just trying to reiterate that. Except this time they're smart enough to at least say, put the guns down and let's box in the ring. So anyways, let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. Go ahead and leave a comment. All right. Deuces. Hey you guys, it's your girl T. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share my videos. You can also visit Lovelyti.com to purchase any merchandise. Also, don't forget to click the boxes down below to watch any of my previous videos. Talk to y'all later. Deuces.